Okay, good day, eh? Let's be honest. How many times have you painted for 2 hours, leaned back, and thought, huh, why does this still look so mid? Yeah, that's what we're fixing today, eh? Today we're breaking down the patience problem and the learning plateau. Why progress feels slower than it actually is, and why your brain wants to quit right before you level up, bud. If you ever felt stuck, frustrated, or tempted to start a new army instead of finishing this one, hit the like, subscribe, and let's fix this property, eh? Welcome back to C7 Hobbies, where we don't talk about paint recipes and tactics. We talk about what keeps you consistent for years, bud. This episode lives in Mastering Hobby Momentum, a playlist about building habits, defeating paralysis, and keeping creative energy alive for the long haul, eh? And today's truth, most hobbyists don't quit because they lack talent. They quit because they lack patience with the process. So today we're covering why progress feels invisible, even when it's happening, the nasty plateau that kills momentum, and how to build patience like it's a skill, because it is, eh? So let's dive in. Beauty. The patience problem. All right, let's call it what it is, bud. We live in a world of speed paints, army done in 3 hours, 10-minute tutorials, master blending in one lunch break. Paint this army in a weekend, thumbnails, eh? And your brain, it quietly absorbs the message. Progress should be fast, bud. But here's what skill development research across creative fields actually shows, eh? Improvement is slow, uneven, and often invisible day to day. Now, I don't have hobby specific longitudinal data sitting around, bud. I can tell you your miniature painters improve about, 3.745% per month or whatever, eh? But we do know skill acquisition in general follows a gradual curve like occasional jumps. The problem, you only see the flat parts. The jumps, those happen when you're not looking, when you're frustrated, when you think nothing's working, eh? And that gap between expectation and reality is where impatience lives. It's like watching a pot of water boil, bud, except the pot's yelling at you saying, I'm not getting any hotter, eh? And you're like, yes, you are. Shut up, eh? The emotional trap. Here's what happens internally when impatience hits. Step one, you try something new, maybe edge highlighting, maybe some blending, whatever, eh? Step two, it feels hard. Your hand's shaky, your paint's not cooperating. Step three, results don't match expectation. If it doesn't look like the YouTube tutorial, bud. Step four, frustration spikes. You're annoyed, discouraged, questioning everything. Step five, motivation drops. You put down the brush, you walk away, and you avoid the desk. That's not failure, bud. That's impatience colliding with reality, eh? And reality, well, reality usually wins. Your brain wanted instant results. Reality said, nah, you're going to practice this like 40 more times before it clicks, bud. And then your brain goes, 40? I don't have 40. I want it now, eh? But here's the thing. That frustration is part of learning. It's not a sign you should quit, bud. It's a sign your brain's stretching, eh? It's like doing a workout and being mad your muscles are sore the next day. That's not injury, that's progress. That hurts, bud. The comparison accelerator. Now let's make it worse, eh? And patients get turbocharged when you compare your work in progress Space Marine to someone else's Golden Demon winning display piece. Your brain doesn't compare timelines, it compares outcomes, eh? So, you see their finished masterpiece, your half painted dude with one wonky eye, and your brain goes, see, you suck at this, bud. Here's something grounded and real, eh? When we compare our early skills stage to someone's advanced stage, it distorts motivation. That affects well documented in social comparison research. So, if impatient hits hardest right after scrolling Instagram or Reddit, that's not weakness, eh? That's exposure, bud. You just exposed your beginner brain to expert level results and expected it to feel good about it. Spoilers? It won't, eh? But we'll fix that later. It's like watching the Olympics and then going for a jog and being like, why am I not breaking world records? You just learned to tie your shoes last year. Relax, eh? The learning plateau. All right, let's talk about the nastier one, bud. The learning plateau, eh? This is when you're not a beginner anymore. You know how to thin your paints. You understand layering. You know the basics. You're competent, but not clueless. You're improving. Slows dramatically, eh? You're not getting worse. You're just not seeing visible jumps anymore. And that's when the brain panics, eh? Skill research shows plateaus are common in almost every domain. Improvement becomes incremental and requires more deliberate practice, bud. Deliberate practice means focused effort on your weakest points, eh? Not painting what you're already good at. Not doing the fun and easy stuff, bud. Actually tackling the thing you suck at and forcing yourself to get better, eh? And here's the kicker. Deliberate practice, it's hard. It's uncomfortable, bud. It's also frustrating. And your brain hates it. So instead, you paint what's comfortable. You stick to techniques you've already mastered. You avoid the scary stuff. You stay safe. And comfort is sneaky, bud. It feels like progress because you're still painting, eh? But you're not actually improving anymore. You're just maintaining. It's like going to the gym, only doing the machines you're already good at, eh? Yeah, you're there. Yeah, you're moving, but you're not getting any stronger. You're just getting really good at the seated leg press, bud. Beauty. So why plateaus kill momentum? Here's why plateaus are brutal for motivation, eh? Plateaus mess with 3 psychological needs in your brain. Need 1, competence. Am I improving? When you can't see improvement, your brain assumes it's not happening, even if it is happening, slowly. If you can't measure it, your brain goes, nope, we're stuck, eh? Need number 2, autonomy. Am I choosing this? When progress stalls, painting starts feeling like an obligation instead of a choice, eh? You're not painting because you want to, you're painting because you feel like you should. And should, that's motivation poison. Need number 3, progress. Is this going somewhere? Your brain needs to feel like effort equals results. When that link breaks, when you're putting in time and not seeing any payoff, eh? Motivation tanks. And that's not drama, bud. That's human psychology, eh? Your brain's doing exactly what it's designed to do. Conserve energy when the reward system isn't working. So, if you're on a plateau right now and motivation's in the toilet, you're not broken, bud. You're just human, eh? And no, buying a new paintbrush doesn't automatically fix the plateau, eh? I checked, bud. Still tried it though, eh? Twice. The brushes are great. I'm still on the plateau. It's just science is cruel, eh? The momentum loop. Momentum isn't built on giant improvements. It's built on 4 things. 1, small reps. Tiny, repeatable actions, eh? Not paint a whole army. Just paint 1 shoulder pad better than the last time. Number 2, visible tracking. If your brain can't see progress, it assumes none exists, eh? So we make progress visible. More on this in a sec, bud. Number 3, emotional wins. Not just, did I improve, or did I enjoy this? Did I feel good? Did I finish without rage quitting, eh? Emotional wins count. Number 4, realistic expectations. Stop comparing day 30 you to 10-year them, bud. Your progress is yours. Their timeline doesn't matter. So how do we build this loop? 3 strategies, bud. Let's go. Strategy number 1, shrink the improvement goal. Instead of saying, I want to get better at painting, try, I want smoother highlights on this one shoulder pad, bud. Specifically, builds patience. Your brain can't measure better, That's too vague, bud. But smoother highlights on this specific piece, that's measurable. That's achievable. That's something your brain can focus on. Plus, if you screw it up, it's just one shoulder pad, not the whole army. Not your entire identity as a painter, bud. Just one little piece of plastic, Strategy number 2, track effort, not just outcome. Here's the big one, bud. Keep a simple log, Doesn't have to be fancy. Just track time spent. Even 15 minutes counts, bud. Technique practice. What did you try, What felt easier? Even if the results look the same, did it feel less awkward? If so, that's progress. Why it works. You may not see visual leaps, but you will see consistency. Consistency fuels identity. Identity fuels momentum, Beauty. When you see, I painted 4 days this week, even if none of them looked amazing, bud, your brain goes, oh, I'm a person who paints. That's who I am now, And that's when the plateau breaks. Plus, journals are great for passive-aggressive future you to read, bud. Note to self, stop trying to freehand flames. You are not good at flames yet, Past me, who was corrected. Beauty. Strategy number 3, schedule frustration. This one sounds wild, but stick with me, bud. Schedule frustration, So pick one session a week where you experiment and expect it to look rough. Try a new technique. Push yourself. And give yourself permission for it to look like garbage. Why it works. When frustration is planned, it doesn't feel like failure. It feels like training, You're not failing, you're testing. Beauty. You're gathering data, bud. You're learning what doesn't work so you know what does, It's like leg day at the gym, You know it's gonna suck, bud, but you scheduled it, so when it does suck, you're like, yeah, that tracks, Not surprised, not defeated, just sore. Beauty. Mental wellness protection. All right, bud, let's get real for a second, Here's the deeper piece nobody talks about. Impatience often masks fear. Fear that you've never be good enough, That you're behind everybody else. That you don't have natural talent. Or that you wasted time on something you'll never master, Sound familiar? Here's what we actually know from skill development research. There's no solid evidence that miniature painting success is purely talent-driven, Skill development literature overwhelmingly supports practice and feedback as the key drivers. So when your brain says, maybe I don't have it, that's insecurity talking, not science. Beauty. You're not untalented, bud. You're just early in the journey, And early looks messy. That's normal. So let's reframe the plateau. Instead of saying, I'm stuck, try, I'm consolidating, Plateaus are often periods where the brain stabilizes skills before the next jump. So beauty. You may not feel growth, but consolidation is progress, bud. It's like building muscle. You don't grow during the workout, you grow during rest. The plateau, that's your brain resting and integrating what you've learned. The jump's coming, bud. It just needs time. Think of like letting the wash dry before you highlight. Rush in and everything gets muddy. Patience isn't laziness, eh? It's a technique. Practical action plan. All right, here's your 3-step reset for building momentum, bud. Step 1, pick one micro skill to improve this month. Not get better at everything, eh? Just one thing, like dry brushing, or eyes, smooth base coats, whatever, bud. Step 2, track the reps, not results. How many times did you try it, eh? That's what matters, not whether it looked perfect, bud. Step 3, limit comparison exposure when motivation dips. If Instagram making you feel bad, close it. If Reddit's crushing your confidence, step away, bud. Protect your brain, eh? And most importantly, stay. Don't jump armies. Don't restart your whole system. Don't panic. Momentum rewards patience, eh? So stick with it. If this episode helped you feel less stuck, do me a favor, bud. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with someone who thinks they've hit their ceiling. Till then, remember, progress is slow, plateaus are normal, and patience is a skill that you can train. So stick with it. Now go forth, be awesome, and paint for the paint gods.